The reason, the rhyme. Not five things, no. Something slightly different today. These are my top 10 pics that I've taken. Not necessarily the best I've taken, not all of them anyway, but things that mean something to me. There's a story behind a lot of these, so I'm going to start off with number 10. And this is Dale Street in Liverpool. I don't know what that building was, I don't know what it is now, but it is finished. This is taken a while ago. And every time I walk past there, which was normally about 6:30, 7:15 in the morning, when I was annoyed on my way into work, I'd see that and all of a sudden I'd just be cheered up. Radical, anarchic, bolshy, scouse, I am, yes. And it was sort of brown with orange writing on it. It just looked so good. I don't even think I put a filter on that. I think it was pretty much just because it was early in the morning. It come out that well. I love the way that looks. Like I say, I don't know what that building is now, but it was like that for a long time, and I loved walking past there. Yeah, that's number 10. Number 9. This is Harrington Street in Liverpool. The reason why this one's important, there's two pubs you can see on that particular photograph. The first one, you can see the Pen and Wig. And then if you carry on through past there, there's another sign for the Pen and Wig, followed by the Crocodile. Those are two of my locals, or were when I used to drink. And this is really important because the Pen and Wig doesn't exist anymore. That little bit that you can see there, that doorway, used to be, you'd walk in and to the right hand side would be the pub, the Pen and Wig, and downstairs was a lap dancing bar. And many a furtive man would walk in and walk into the pub without realising it and think, this doesn't look like a lap dancing bar. It isn't. This is the pub, mate. The lap dancing's downstairs. I have had some incredible days and nights in that place with great friends from work, and I loved it. They've ruined it now. They've changed it into a different bar, and it's just not the same anymore. So I'm gutted. But that does seem to just, I don't know, because it was taken on a Friday night, and I know it was, at about 7 o'clock after we finished work. That's on a Friday on the way into the Pen and Wig, just before the first pint. And for me, it captures that moment. It looks like that moment. So that now is just a representation of something I can't have anymore. Or at least I can't at the moment, so yeah, I love that the way it looks as well. Brings back a lot of memories. 8 is Silcock's Funland, Southport Pier. I love the way this looks, especially either at night or during blue hour. As you're driving up and it's starting to go towards night, that's all lit up. Neville Street's lit up. When you come to the top, you see that at the top, and it looks, I think it looks beautiful. It looks very seaside town. I don't think it looks tacky in the slightest. I just think that's the way it should look. It looks brilliant. Love it. And also, it's important to me, this one, because as you can see, I'm not taking a photo from inside the car. I'm out of the car. I parked up. I've walked. And I think I recorded a couple of videos while I was there. So it's a bit of a representation of getting out of my comfort zone, out of my car, getting out and about, and then recording videos while people are watching, people are walking past. That represents a lot, and I still, every time I go past it, I love it. You're going to see more of that, I think, as the days get longer and warmer. That will be a background for a lot of videos, I think. Just think it looks fantastic. Look at it. The entrance, man. Beautiful. Number 7, also Southport. This was in one of the videos I did recently where I said I got emotional. I went and parked up by the beach, and it was a really grey, overcast day. Miserable, but I didn't want to go home. So I thought I'll hang around, and then once it gets dark I'll go home. Then all of a sudden the sun peaked below this silvery grey cloud, and there was only a little sliver of it to begin with. And then it started dropping down towards the horizon. This light came. It painted the clouds in this beautiful purple and pink. Stunning. And I love it because it had that effect on me. I was moved by nature. and also I had the patience to stay, despite the fact that it didn't look like it was going to be anything decent. It ended up being very, very nice. I think it looks beautiful. I like the lights. If you ever look at the lights on the Southport Pier, are lit up because it was coming towards night time. I like the way they're lit up so you can see them as well as the sun in the background. And it looks as though it could have been taken in, I don't know, Los Angeles, Thailand, Bali, anywhere. And it wasn't, it was taken in Southport. Beauty is all around you if you bother to look. I love the colours. I love the little bit of lens flare as well. Just think it looks beautiful. And it looks warmer than it actually was because I remember it being fairly cold. 6. This is one of 3 that were taken within the space of about 2 or 3 days, I think. End of November, beginning of December 2012. This is taken in the Panoramic Restaurant, Bar and Grill, whatever you want to call it, in the West Tower, I think it's called, in Liverpool, which is the highest building in Liverpool. And it was taken on the sort of the cusp of blue hour between daytime and nighttime, which would have been about 4-ish maybe, R4. I took one that was during the day, and then I took one 20 minutes later, and it was like this. I love the colours. I love just the way it looks. You can see the Wirral, the Oblong of Dreams in the background. You can see the Liver buildings, the lights on the cars. Everything about it I thought looks amazing. And the river actually looks blue as well, not brown. And I'm sure if you look carefully in the background, you'll probably be able to see North Wales as well. It's it's a beautiful picture. I love it. I really do. And it's important as well because this was at a time when we had a friend from America who came over, Susanna, who was an Evertonian who come over and met a load of Evertonians that are here. And I took her around a few places, done the touristy bit, but I said I'll show you some of the places that you don't normally get taken to, this being one of them. You weren't supposed to be able to go in there and just go up, but I got talking to the fella on the door downstairs, the whatever you call him, concierge, one of those, desk fella I called him. I just got cheeky with him. All right, mate, girls come all the way from America, any chance we can just go up and take a few photos and have a bevy? So I'll go ahead, lad, you'll be all right. So up we went, seeing this, had a look around. It's called Panoramic because you can see all the way around, so it's amazing. You can see within the space of just where you were sat, you can see Lime Street Station, both cathedrals, the Three Graces, the Mersey. You can look up towards Bootle, Formby, I think you can see as far as that. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning views. And that time of night it looked amazing. If you ever go to Liverpool, try and go to Panoramic. It's on the 34th floor, I think. So you get lovely views. Definitely worth it. 5, also taken a few days later, I think. Again, around blue hour. This is on a ferry. Cross the Mersey. I love this. Again, I think there's something about blue hour, and I didn't know what it was back then, that just makes everywhere look amazing. I love the fact that you can see actually the West Tower with a little red stripe at the top of it. That's the restaurant in there. The Merseyside waterfront is an amazing thing anyway. It really is beautiful. And you can see the Liver buildings, the Cunard buildings and the Port of Liverpool buildings next to it. And I love the fact that it's that blue, but also you've got the contrast of the red and white Lifesaver and the diagonal of the boat in there as well. I was delighted with the way that came out. So much so that I used it as the artwork for my ebook of poetry that I brought out, self-published obviously, entitled This River, or That River if you would like. Yeah, I love that photo, I really do. 4. This is really important, this photograph. This is Black and Blue, which is a bar in Borough Market in London. This was taken on the 24th or 25th of June 2017, I can't remember. It was 3 weeks after the London Bridge terror attacks in which people lost their lives. I'd gone down to London to spend the weekend doing the tourist things. I've got a friend who lives down in Essex who said, just come down, stop moaning about London, come down and I'll show you the touristy side of things. because all I'd ever done with London had been watching Everton football games or going down to work, and I was always moaning, London's shite, London's shite. It isn't. It's a fantastic place. This particular bar, Black and Blue, is quite famous around that time because the attackers tried to get in there to have a go at more of the customers, and a Millwall fan famously stood at the doorway and fought them off and saved a lot of people from injury. He got injured himself, ended up in hospital, but he very bravely fought them off in that there bar, and this was 3 weeks later. And it's important because at that time there was this real feeling of, you're not going to win. We don't care what you've done. You're not going to win. We are going to go about our business as usual. The pubs and bars were busy. Everyone, there was a sense of community, which you don't normally get in London, but we did at that time. It was amazing. If you went to London Bridge, there was loads of post-it notes and little notes stuck to it, pinned to it and what have you, with little messages from people from all around the world. Beautiful but horrible to see, to be honest. The reasons why they were on there were horrific. But that, to me, every time I see it, I just think of the poor people that are no longer with us as a result of this. The brave fella who put himself in danger to save other people. The emergency services, the police and the ambulances that rushed to the area, knowing full well they could have got themselves into all kinds of hassle. There was a feeling, there was a vibe around there at the time. You will not win. And it was during the summer, nice warm day, or nice warm night even, having a few beers, sat there. I loved that. That was a really nice weekend, and that was one of the most important parts of it. Never give in, never give in. I like the way the photo come out as well, to be honest with you, but it's what it means more than anything else. 3, also taken in 2012. This is the Pump House, which is a bar now, a bar and restaurant, I think, on the Albert Dock in Liverpool. That was taken after we got off the ferry, and it was freezing. You can be cold on land. If you get on a boat, it's about 2 or 3 times as bad because just the moisture in the air takes away any heat that you've got. So I thought we're going to go to the Pump House, which is the nearest pub, get in there, get warm, have a pint. And as we were on the way in, I just went like that and took a photograph very quickly, went in, ordered the ale, sat down, started to warm up and had a look on my phone. And I was blown away by how good this looked, I thought anyway. And it's, again, like I say, I didn't know what blue hour was. And I saw that and I just thought, the sky didn't look like that to my eyes. It did, but nowhere near as deep indigo as that. And then the contrast of the warm looking brick, despite the fact that it was bloody freezing, it looks like it's warm brick against cold sky. It's not going to win any composition awards, but I just think it's a beautiful photograph. That is a fantastic colour. I love that. Go to the Pump House if you're ever in Liverpool. It's a lovely pub. 2 could easily have been 1, and 1 could easily have been 2. Toss of a coin. That is Southport Air Show, and I can't remember what year it was. I could look, but I can't be bothered, you know what I mean? That is a Lancaster bomber. One of the most important planes in our history, and also one of the most, I think one of the most beautiful looking and beautiful sounding planes in history. Now this has been going round, when they come and do the air show quite regularly, do little bits of circles, tours, they go round and round and keep going back over the beach. And it kept getting closer and closer to the house on each circle. So I thought, this is going to come really close to our house. And I was just stood in the back garden and it started coming towards us, and I thought, this really is, this is going to go over the house. Click, 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 just on there. And then when I got in and had a look on my phone, this exact image was on there, and it's almost perfectly centered. I just thought, what a fantastic photograph that is. The importance of the plane, the fact that it's silhouetted against a blue sky with cotton bud clouds, like the beginning of The Simpsons or something. I couldn't have made it, I couldn't have drawn it any better or AI'd it any better than that. The sound, I can still hear the sound just looking at that. I am so proud of that. Such a fantastic photograph. And it was done on a phone without any effort whatsoever. Just leaning back, click. And one you might recognise as being the cover for the Reason the Rhyme. That, if you don't know it, is exchange flags and the back of the town hall in Liverpool. I walked through there and back to the station every day for 2 decades, near enough. That's on the way to work. In fact, it still is. But I have to work from home now because of my illness. Otherwise, I'd be walking through there every day. It's a beautiful, beautiful little part of Liverpool, hidden out the way behind the town hall. Cobbled square. You can see there's a monument in the middle of it. There's monuments to the wars. There's monuments to slavery. I like the fact that the slavery stuff is not hidden away. It's not brushed under the carpet. We acknowledge the fact that the city is built on slavery, and all these things should be there to act as a warning to us in the future. Never ever let this happen again. But it's stunning. There's a Ministry of Defence building in there. I think there's a police building. You've got the Western Approaches is on the outside of exchange flags. The Western Approaches was where the Battle of the Atlantic was organised from, and you can go in there. You can go downstairs underground, and you can see the way it was with all the big maps on the walls and how it was orchestrated. I've not been in, despite working over the road from it for 2 decades. I've not been in, and I should do at some point. But I just love the fact that it's a frame within a frame, which is important. There's leading lines, all this photography rubbish. It just looked nice when I took a picture of it. And back then, your phone never had the ability to straighten. So I should have straightened it so it looks cleaner, but I never did. So it's lopsided. But I've looked at it so often and for so many years that I don't care. That's just the way it is. I like that. It was taken in colour and then turned into black and white because I thought it looked nicer. And now I suppose you could, I don't know, you could probably film Vienna or something in there, couldn't you? Bit of Ultravox. Because it does look, it could be anywhere. If you took those cars out the way, ruining the shot, it could be somewhere in Europe. Beautiful buildings, beautiful area. Definitely go there if you're in Liverpool. And I just like the way it looks. I always have done. Which is why I haven't got it on, but it's on hoodies, it's on t-shirts, it's on the thumbnail. But it could have been, 1 and 2 could have been flipped around easily. And there's not much behind those two, apart from I think they look fantastic. But there are stories behind the other ones. So there you go. There's my 10 pics with some reasons behind them. I would suggest, if you take pictures regularly on your phone or even on your cameras, go back and actually look at them. Don't just leave them on a memory card. Go and look at them. See if they do actually trigger memories of things back then. Don't waste them. And you might go back and just suddenly see something and think, wow, that was better than I thought it was. Or that looked okay, but I can colour grade that, or I could change it, I can black and white it or something, and it look amazing. Go back and have a look. And if you want to show me yours, who misses, I'm on Blue Sky as Tricadelic. Just go and see me on there and drop me a couple of photos, and I will happily look. Until next time, that was my top 10 picks. And that's that.